What could be better than sitting out in weather like this and enjoying your garden? Well, for me, it's also sitting out in the evening and enjoying the garden, and that means lighting it up. And what a beautiful garden I've been given to light up. You're taking the piss. Picture this garden fully landscaped. Pretty little plants, borders, and lighting. Now you may be thinking it's a bit too early to think about garden lighting on an extension, but this is the perfect time to be thinking about it. Type of lights, the ducting, and the effect that that light is going to have. And that's what we're going to be exploring and looking at different design tips and tricks that we can use when thinking about lighting up a garden and ensure the installation is perfectly compliant. And to help us look at this, we're going to be exploring the range of outdoor lighting from Robus, starting with this wall light, the Maxewell. So to start, you'll need to remove the front of the fitting, and this is secured with two small grub screws. With those out, the front cover can be unplugged, and the design of this makes installation easy compared to those fittings where you're battling with a tangled mess of wires behind a fixed front. Cable entry is through a pyramid grommet, and the fitting is secured with a couple of screws. Drilling through the fitting for your cable entry and sealing that entry with a bit of silicone keeps moisture out. For the connection itself, you've got push-in connectors. Now if you're anything like me, you probably always seem to run out of uninsulated bootlace ferrules right when you need them. But the good news, you can use insulated ones. Just install them backwards and snip the end off. It works perfectly and keeps your connections solid and reliable. With the wiring done, the front cover plugs back in neatly and is secured again with the grub screws. But here's the part I love. You've got full control over the beam angle spread. The Maxwell lets you adjust it between 60 degrees, 45 degrees, 30 degrees and 15 degrees, and anywhere in between. You simply tweak it until you get that perfect wash over the wall. Whether you want a wide flood or a tight focus beam, you've got options. And to top it off, they look the part. Sleek, minimal and robust. Ideal for modern exteriors where you want your lighting to enhance the architecture. Next up is the Twilight. The Robus Twilight wall light is all about sleek design and versatility. With its clean lines and minimalist style, it fits seamlessly into any space, even on this bare block wall. Robus also offers a range of different covers, so you can match the finish to your specific setting, whether it's modern, traditional, or something in between. Size-wise, it's compact and discreet at 125mm square and only 27mm in depth, yet it packs enough punch in terms of power to effectively illuminate pathways, patios or building facades. And this brings us to a great lighting design secret, which is not seeing the source of the light, but the effect of the light. A well-placed fitting should create depth, add atmosphere and all of that without glaring at you. And the Twilight creates this effect perfectly. The installation process is straightforward enough. After drilling the cable entry and sealing it with silicone, I secured it with the fixings supplied with the fitting. With everything wired up and mounted, the Twilight delivers that perfect, subtle glow. Proof that sometimes less is more when it comes to outdoor lighting. Next up is the Clubfinch. Clubfinch, as in the small bird. Definitely Clubfinch. No, I just don't want people thinking I've clubbed a finch. You sure? So next up is this Spikelight, the Clubfinch, not actually clubbing a finch. Yeah, I don't want people to think I would club a finch. The Robus Clubfinch is a no-fuss, solid little spike light that does exactly what it's supposed to. It's IP54 rated, so it's well suited for outdoor use, and the build feels tough enough to handle typical British weather. One big win is that it takes a GU10 lamp, so you've got full control over the brightness, colour temperature and beam angle. It also comes pre-wired with a length of H07-F cable, so there's no messing about. Installation is dead easy. Spike it into the ground, connect it to a suitably rated IP junction box and you're good to go. Okay, so let's talk about the Clubfinch lighting a feature. In this case, this pear tree, and we have got options here. Lighting from the front will highlight the shape and texture of the trunk and branches, great for showing off form and detail. Lighting from behind, though, creates drama. You get silhouettes and shadows, and that adds depth and interest, especially when viewed against a wall or a fence. For the best effect though, consider using two lights, one from the front at a lower angle and a softer one from behind. It adds dimension without flattening the scene. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Kinglet in-ground LED fitting, and as it is in-ground, it does mean we're going to have to bore a hole, and that's probably a little bit overkill for what we need. Now, if you're wondering why ours isn't secured properly, it's because we're testing the lighting effect. That's the beauty of fittings like this. You can move them around to find that sweet spot before fixing them with concrete. This little unit is sleek, sturdy and perfect for that low profile lighting effect. It's IP67 rated, so it's fully weatherproof. It's flush mounted, meaning it sits nice and neat with the surface, ideal for driveways, pathways or, in our case, framing a garden office. It will be fed by a conduit in the ground and secured in place with concrete. Now, in the box, you'll find this honeycomb circle. But can you tell me what it's for? It's an anti-glare honeycomb filter. This little accessory is designed to direct light precisely where it's needed, cutting down on glare and reducing light spillage. Why does that matter? Well, when you're throwing light upwards, you've got to be mindful of light pollution, that unwanted glow that leaks into the night sky and messes with the atmosphere. So next up, we're looking at these, the Kinglet 0.6 watt LED in-ground fittings. But we're going to be fitting these in a slightly different way. For this install, we're putting it into this planter wall to light up a step, light up a built-in bench and a sunken path. Why? Because lighting paths can be tricky. Bollards are great, but if you fancy a kickabout or a game of badminton, they're just in the way. So instead, we're core drilling through these blue stones, which will be set into the sunken path. The beauty of this is you get a gentle low glare light that marks out the pathway without blinding you or disrupting your outdoor activities. Installation is straightforward. Once you've core drilled your blockwork or curbstones, the sleeve slots right in. I've secured this one with expanding foam, left it 10mm proud for the render, and it's sitting there solidly. The fitting itself is 12 volts, so you'll need a transformer to power it up. Luckily, Robus supplies those too. What I love about the Kinglet 0.6 watts is the way it softly lights the area. It's not in your face, it's just there, doing its job. It adds a touch of light and I think elegance, even on this building site. So we're now down to the last fitting and my personal favourite, the Turnfinch. Oh, they're named after birds. Yeah, no, Turnfinch. I get it. Turn. I feel like a right Wally now. So this is a seriously solid piece of kit, built with robust construction of die-cast aluminium and coming pre-wired with a generous length of flex. It's ready to go straight out of the box. For our install, we're putting it to good use in the planters. We've also got one positioned behind this small tree. Just like with the Club Finch, installation is as simple as it gets. Spike it into the ground, connect it to an IP-rated junction box, and you're done. When you point the light downwards, it creates this beautiful wash effect. It's soft, subtle, and avoids that harsh glare you sometimes get with upward lighting. The light just grazes the surface, highlighting textures and adding depth without drawing too much attention to itself. And when it's tucked under that tree or placed in the planter, you get that perfect accent lighting. It frames the feature without overpowering it, adding just the right amount of glow. So there we have it. Be sure to check out all the other great videos that we've done with robust lighting, and be sure to check out Joe Robinson's video that he did on LED tape, one not to be missed. But from me, it's bye-bye for now.